The arts and crafts movement was an international movement in the decorative and fine arts that flourished in Europe and North America between 1880 and 1910. The movement developed earliest and most fully in the British Isles and spread across the British Empire into the rest of Europe and North America. It was largely a reaction against the perceived impoverished state of the decorative arts at the time and the conditions in which they were produced. The arts and crafts movement favored craft production over industrial manufacturing, and they were concerned about the loss of traditional skills. They were arguably more troubled by the effects of the factory system than by the machinery itself. And William Morris's idea of handicraft was essentially work without any division of labor rather than work without any sort of machinery. Inspired by English work, arts and crafts artisans and workshop groups around America began producing their own designs by the end of the 1870s, with especially strong centers of activity in Boston and Cincinnati. The arts and crafts movement also shaped American architecture, especially with the development of the Queen Anne Revival and with emerging styles that were based on the old-fashioned homes. The work could be highly decorated, but was often extremely plain. The roughness and simplicity of some work was shocking. One reviewer in 1899 referred to an arts and crafts piece as looking like the work of a savage. However, many pieces show a concern for and understanding of craftsmanship. The bright colors, rich patterns, and textures of many pieces are visually stunning. Arts and crafts proponents stressed an honesty of construction and material, meaning that items resembled what they were meant to represent and assembly methods were evident. For example, a table would be constructed so that the timbers and joints were obvious, and not concealed under an excess of applied carvings shaped like roses, grapes, or animals. In the case of wallpaper, this meant that patterns never misrepresented themselves as low or high relief architectural ornament. Morris's patterns wore undulating leaves and sprays of flowers, each set deftly into repeat. Together with his colleagues, Morris stylized the botanical motifs and flattened them out. They would never be mistaken for the more sculptural papers that preceded them. The bungalow was closely associated with the arts and crafts movement. Stickley preached that bungalows would give working class families the chance to experience serious architecture. Bungalows melded simple design with handcrafted artistry, all for about $900. The style was also easy to build and maintain, and it became the most common type of craftsman home cropping up from California to the Chicago suburbs. There are many key elements to the bungalow style house. They are often built of natural materials. They have built-in furniture and light fixtures. They feature a fireplace to symbolize the family. They have porches, low-pitched roofs, exposed beams, and on the inside they often have an open floor plan. Arts and crafts furniture was often called mission-style furniture. No one is certain how it got that name. Some believe it is related to the philosophy of the movement, that is, the furniture was functional and had a mission to be used. Gustav Stickley called it craftsman furniture. Whatever it might be called, arts and crafts furniture was the most enduring manifestation of the movement in America. The leading champion of the arts and crafts movement was William Morris. Looking to medieval traditions to restore art as an integral part of human well-being and progress, he believed beauty could be found in utility. In 1861, William Morris founded Morris & Co. to make furniture, carvings, fabrics, tapestries, stained glass, and wallpaper. The anti-industrial structure of the firm was based on the concept of medieval guilds, in which the craftsmen both designed and executed the work. Its aim was to create beautiful, useful, affordable, applied art objects so that art would be a lived experience for all, not just the affluent. The first Morris chair was made by Morris & Co. in about 1866. Chairs that are called Morris chairs feature a seat with a reclining back and moderately high armrest, which give the chair an old-style appearance. The characteristic feature of a Morris chair is a hinged back set between two unupholstered arms with a reclining angle adjusted through a row of pegs, holes, or notches in each arm. Sir Edward Coley Burne-Jones was a British artist and designer who worked closely with William Morris on a wide range of decorative arts as a founding partner in Morris & Co. Burne-Jones was closely involved in the rejuvenation of the tradition of stained glass art in Britain. Many of his works are featured in some of the old churches of the time. Tiffany from Tiffany & Co. believed that his new material allowed more fidelity to the inherent nature of the medium because it enabled form to be defined by the glass itself rather than by painting onto the glass. He was also convinced that actual production of a stained glass window required the artist's involvement at every stage, even in a factory setting. In 1891, Morris founded the Kelmscott Press. With the Kelmscott Press, Morris designed and cut the typefaces, ornamental borders, and title pages, which were based on the type of medieval manuscripts. This produced high-quality hand-printed books to be seen and cherished as objects of art. Here we have Walter Crane, who became the original director and co-founder of the London Central School of Arts and Crafts, the first college to introduce craft workshops to promote arts and crafts principles within mainstream art education. This integration of design with art education is one of the greatest legacies of the arts and crafts movement. Despite the high ideals, the arts and craft movement was essentially flawed. Their opposition to modern methods of production caused them to fail in their ideal of producing affordable quality handcrafted designs for the masses, as the production costs for their designs were so high that they could only be purchased by the extremely wealthy. It's also interesting to note that in the early 1900s, when the arts and crafts movement was coming to an end in North America, Great Britain, and Europe, that we see industrialization taking off. For example, in 1913, we see Henry Ford's first use of a moving assembly line for the mass production of cars in North America. The greatest legacy of the arts and crafts movement was our understanding of the relationship between design and our quality of life. This set the example for others who would later attempt to use the power of industrial mass production in the service of good design. This can still be seen today in markets such as the cell phone industry. Though the arts and crafts movement had such a short duration in history, its effects are timeless. The movement changed the way in which not only the producers view their products and the craftsmanship involved in what they make, but also the way that the consumer view it as well.